Yeah. Flying was flying, we on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call him Man Dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, really time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in. What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is Philly the podcast, man, and we are back. So today I obviously have a very special guest with me. We got Jack Stoll from the Philadelphia Eagles, becoming quickly a fan favorite. But Jack, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, man. I appreciate you.
Definitely. It's our pleasure, man. So first, we'll just hop right into it. So the first thing I know a lot of my subscribers were asking, this has nothing to do with football, but we want to know about the hair, man. We want to know if it's gonna make a comeback.
Hey, listen, you got to earn it at the next level. Hey, you can't be a cat coming in here with a mullet right away. So hey, just like everything else in Philly, it's blue collar. You got to earn it, baby.
Definitely. Hey, I love that answer. Now let's get into some football, man. I had to ask. They would have threw tomatoes all day at me if I didn't ask that. So we'll ask, coming from Nebraska, obviously played some big games out there. Can you just tell me a little bit about what brought you to Nebraska, what made you want to play there, and just kind of your overall experience there?
Yeah, absolutely. What brought me to Nebraska for the most part, I love the system. I love the people there. A guy named Tavita Thompson was the guy who recruited me out there. Had a really tight connection with him. And, they just use tight ends the way I thought I would be used and utilized the best. A little pro style system under Mike Riley initially. And, it was really between Nebraska and Texas. And, just because there was a lot more two tight end sets over there at Nebraska, that's what brought me to them. And, I went to a spring game, and I'll tell you what, it was one of the craziest things I've ever been to. I mean, they got 70,000 people at a spring game. And I mean, people are going nuts. And I was like, damn, this is just a spring game over here. I can't even imagine what the real thing's like. So, I think all that together kind of, made me land in Nebraska. And hey, it was a great experience. Like I said, it made me a Philadelphia Eagle. So listen, I got nothing bad to say. Obviously, not everything's a fairy tale kind of, with the injury that happened to me last year. But, like I said, hey, I came back stronger, and, I'm just pumped to be here at the next level and playing for Philly.
Definitely. And we're pumped to have you, man. So kind of keeping on that now, Nebraska has some, like you were saying, 70,000 for a spring game. That's no joke. You guys have some intense fans. So you're coming to Philly where intense is maybe a nice word for our fans. I think we're kind of borderline insane, but I kind of want to ask you, how are you going to feed off that? Are you somebody that feeds off that? Or are you just kind of tune it out?
Hey, absolutely. I think everyone should feed off that. Philly's one of these joints where it's, hey, listen, they're going to hold you accountable, which is a good thing. And, I kind of get tired of, sometimes when, some of these programs, they just clap you through everything and say, everything's great. I love Philly, how they're going to hold you accountable. You got to make sure you're doing everything on top and, staying on top of everything. Oh, we lose you there, Joe?
Hey, Jack.
Okay, there we go. I was just about to give you a call over there, man.
I am so sorry. You got to love Florida weather. I'm so sorry about that.
No worries, baby.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. Listen, like I was saying about Philly, hey, I love having people that are crazy holding you accountable. Some of these programs that, just let things slide and, tell you, hey, everything's great. Listen, that's not what I'm about. Listen, if you make a bad play, listen, I know you're going to hear it in Philly, and guess what? That's how it should be. Hey, if you're not earning, that spot on the team, you're not earning that paycheck. Listen, people got to let you hear it.
Yeah, we definitely will. I mean, we're the type of city that will literally give you our firstborn if you're doing well, and if you're doing poorly, like you said, we're definitely going to let you hear it. But I'm excited. So now to go on to, not only our fans have those big personalities. Obviously, there's a lot of personalities on this Philadelphia Eagles team. I just kind of want to know: was there anybody that's, took you under their wing? Have you kind of buddied with anybody on the roster yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of with how the offseason worked out, we were only together for, a short period of time. But, to be honest with you, all the dudes in that tight end room, I thought I was going to walk in and, kind of have some dudes in there who, they think you're better, kind of step down on the rookie, do some stuff like that. But I mean, they all welcome me with open arms. Everyone, starting with Dallas, who, I'll be out there doing drills, and I mean, he'll give me some tips saying, "Hey, get that second foot down," or make sure at the top of the route do this. And most of the time, I'm not even asking for it. He goes out of his way to do it. And listen, I can tell, without being there for too long, they got a great culture there. High energy, bunch of dudes that just want to go out there, compete, and do whatever they can to bring Philly another championship. And it's been awesome. And slowly, it's been great getting to know all the rookies and stuff like that. So I'm just excited, kind of get there for training camp and, get this train rolling.
Definitely. Now, kind of going back to, the draft in itself, obviously you were an undrafted free agent. What was it that kind of made you decide to come to Philly? Because obviously you do get a choice, once that day's over. So what was it that kind of attracted you to Philly?
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. Number one, it's Electric City, like we said. It's one of these deals. Like I said, hey, they'll hold you accountable, but when you're doing well, they'll hype you up more than anyone else I've ever seen. And I think part of it was also the coaching staff. I think the guys I've talked to have been unbelievable. Coach Michael has been unbelievable. Going out of his way to make sure not only me but all the other tight ends are straight for all these OTAs stuff. Making sure we got the plays down. And he's the type of dude that's going to take time out of his day if you don't understand something to make sure you got it taken care of. It, that's just not how it is everywhere. And I think he's done an unbelievable job. I think Coach Sirianni is, really high energy guy who's going to get us heading in the right direction here. So, it was a combination of that. And, I think, having someone there like Dallas, some of the other tight ends we got here, it's awesome just to be around them and be around dudes that are at that level and, be able to pick their brain, get tight with them, hang out with them, and, just kind of see what it takes to make it on that next level.
Definitely. And you spoke about Jason Michael. That is a new guy for us as well. I mean, we haven't really even heard him be able to talk yet. So if you could kind of like in your own words, how would you explain him as a coach? Like what, is there anything, specific that he's kind of hammered in during the short time that you've seen him?
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, he's a football guy. That he makes that clear from, right off the rip. And his understanding of the game is unbelievable. I mean, I go in there and every single day I learn something new. And it's, not even just about our offense. It's about, schematically on defense, why they're doing this, why they're doing that. And, kind of with his experiences in the past, that just carries over having someone as versatile as he has been. And, it's just awesome having him in that room and, just being able to soak up all his knowledge. So I think, the number one thing that stands out for me is, he's an unbelievable dude. Can't wait to be around him. And number two is just his knowledge of the game. And whenever you're around someone like that, all that stuff starts leaking into you, and you just start absorbing it like a sponge. So listen, I couldn't be happier to have him be my tight ends coach.
Definitely. And now you, like you were saying, you kind of had a misfortunate, happening last year. You coming into the season kind of an underdog, but you have a very unique, you're in a very unique position, I should say, because you can win a real starting job pretty quick because we need somebody in that tight end room. So can I ask you, how does that underdog mentality kind of relate to you? Because like I said, the Philadelphia, that's what we're born and bred on. That's what we won a Super Bowl off of. So is that something you can relate to through your career so far?
Listen, I live with a chip on my shoulder, man. That's kind of how I feel. I've been, throughout my time, I came to college, I had a broken wrist. Everyone counted me out. They're like, hey, this is the kid stealing a scholarship. And, hey, I turned that around next thing, earned everyone's respect and, earned that starting job the next year. And, and that's just something, to be honest with you, it just pisses me off. And, the people keep doubting me and, I enjoy proving them wrong. Listen, that's something that gets me going. And, whenever I got people doubt me, it only fuels my fire. I don't even need it. I just look at it as extra stuff. We'll little cherry on top. And listen, I'm used to being doubted. I'm used to being the underdog. So hey, let's just roll with it.
Definitely. Now, talking underdog, I was watching your tape, and honestly, the first thing that jumped out to me was your blocking ability. And I'll be 100% honest. I kind of made an underdog of you when I was thinking of your receiving skills, and I start watching more of your receiving skills, and you're pretty versatile. So can I ask you, at the next level, do you see yourself more as a receiving tight end or a blocking tight end, or do you think you can really be one of those dual threat guys?
Without a doubt in my mind, I can be a dual threat guy. That's kind of how I made my money in college, is being a dual threat guy, where, the first thing everyone sees is, a blocker. And, that's just how it is. And then, even when I got to college, people, watch me run a few routes and they say, this kid can run a couple routes and catch a few balls for us too. So, like I said, I honestly think I could do both without any problems. So, there's going to be a learning curve here, obviously, at the next level. And, I can't wait to just soak up everything I can from the coaches, the players, everything like that. And, just learn what it takes to be a great tight end at the NFL level. But, I definitely see myself as being both those guys. I see myself in special teams, doing whatever I can, scrapping to, do whatever I can to help this team.
Definitely. Now, is there any tight ends that you kind of keep your eye on, maybe that, you were playing against, or, maybe in the NFL level that maybe you study a little bit more or kind of model your game after them?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of coming out of college, there was definitely a couple guys. I think right off the rip, the two most obvious ones are Travis Kelce and, George Kittle. Those are kind of the dudes right now. And, I think those two guys are, they've set the bar at the tight end position. I think, just hopping into this Eagles tight end room and, seeing someone like, Zach Ertz on tape, be able to run routes as strong as he can. And then, someone like Dallas Goedert, who, he goes out there and balls every single time he's out there. And, his game's only getting better year after year. And, just being around a guy like that is going to be exciting to me. And, just being able to, steal a few things from him, make sure, I understand what he's thinking here, his technique, and, put those into my game, implement those. And, I think those are all just guys, I've kind of looked at and, tried to, see what they do, whatever they're successful with, and, steal things from some guys and try to, put in my own bag and make my own little unique set of skills. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Definitely. I feel like you're winning over fans even more by the second. People, I'm telling you, you might not know it, but, between the hair, the attitude, and some of the blocks that we've seen and just everything we've seen from you, I'm telling you, you got a lot of fans out here in Philly already. So I kind of want to ask you, as a locker room guy, we did talk about that there's a lot of, personalities on this team. What type of locker room guy are you? Are you one of those guys going crazy before the game? Are we going to get a bunch of sound bites, or what can we expect from Jack?
Before the game, my motto in college, I used to be one of those guys who tried to get us hyped up, throw the headphones on and, go crazy. To be honest with you, I feel I play the best when I'm loose. So, if, honestly, I hear people, they're throwing, little baby and stuff like that on their headphones, going crazy, stuff like that. Hey, whatever I'm vibing to that day, that week, that month, that's what I'm throwing on. And, I play the best when I'm relaxed. So, that's kind of my big thing is, I'm trying to be relaxed, like it's just another day in the locker room. And, to be honest with you, the way you practice should be the same way you play. So I'm going to go in there with the same mentality every day. So, I'm not big on, changing a few things up for game day and, doing all that, because you should be doing that throughout the week. So, listen, I love talking with the boys and, getting tight with them. That locker room atmosphere is something, I fed off of at Nebraska, something I'll feed off of in Philly too. So, really, to be honest with you, I wouldn't see too many crazy things, but, I think the play will speak for itself.
Once Dallas week comes, you might be changing your tune on that. It might get a little crazy in there, I'll tell you. So now what I like to do, Jack, to kind of finish off interviews, I like to usually ask my members for questions, but like I said, there's a lot of people that are talking about you. A lot of people are excited to see who you are going to become for the Eagles. So what I did was I went and got two content creators that are kind of the face of the Philadelphia Eagles fan community. And they just wanted to ask one quick question each. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to play those questions real quick and you can just answer them.
All right, let's roll it.
All right. So the first person we got is my guy.
What will be the hardest part of making your transition to the NFL, and how excited are you to be playing in a city like Philadelphia?
So that's the first question. Did you get it?
Yeah, absolutely. He said, what was the hardest part about transitioning from college to the NFL, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say, I'm still kind of new to the game and, still understand. I think my answer will evolve as I get to training camp, but, it's really just, getting into a new system and, understanding the playbook. And that just comes with the territory. And, I've been, spend as much time as I can in that iPad and understanding it. But, it's definitely a lot different than college. College, you get 1, 2 word plays and, that's the majority of the playbook. Here, you start getting 10, 11, 12 word plays. And, listen, I'm able to adjust to it and get used to it. But, that's just something you got to get a grasp on, regardless of whatever system you're in. And so, it's just really kind of getting all that stuff down and, just developing those relationships like you had back in college and, just rolling with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shout out to RB. Thank you for sending in that question. Now, the next one, everybody knows who he is as far as YouTubers go because this guy's like the OG that's been doing it forever. It's Philly 500. He's got a nice little question for you, Jack.
My question for you is this. When you come to the Eagles, when you come into that organization, do they teach you the history of the team? Do they teach you everything we've been through, all the pain, all the suffering? Most importantly, do they teach you that Dallas still stinks? We hate the Cowboys. We hate them at all costs. We want to destroy them every year. This is very, very, very important.
So there you go.
Hey, let me tell you something. They make it very clear, Dallas. Hey, they ain't our friends over there. I'll tell you that. That's something right off the rip. Is hey, like you said, hey, Dallas week, you strap it up and you make sure you got your P's and Q's done. And hey, yeah, absolutely. And the history of the organization kind of just continues to grow. And they're not going to all throw it on you, but yeah, they definitely are starting to help implement some of that stuff. Listen, hey, I was following the Eagles back in the day when they got Donovan McNabb and, T.O., all those guys. And, it's definitely something that, first of all, when you just go into the city, it becomes very apparent in and of itself. And, just hearing, some of the accounts of, winning the Super Bowl, 3-4 years ago, how much football really means to the city. And I think it's awesome to play for an organization like that where, the fans are invested as they are. And like I said, hey, I love how they hold you accountable. And listen, hey, you drop a pass, do something. Hey, I'm sure they'll let me hear it at a grocery store or something like that. So listen, hey, I'm all for it. And listen, I can't wait for that energy to, come to fruition here in the fall.
Definitely, man. And we're, like I said, we are very, very excited to have you on this team, man. And we're excited to see you earn that mullet back because we need it back. We definitely need it back. But Jack, before I let you go, is there anything you want to say to the Philly fans watching you right now? You got Eagles Nation waiting for you.
Let's roll, baby. Hey, let's get this shit going in the fall.
I love it. I love it. That was the best answer I've gotten so far. I love that. I love that. So, Jack, we will definitely be rooting for you this year, man. And I can't wait to. We'll definitely get you back on the show, man. When you're hitting that Pro Bowl, because I'm calling it. You're gonna hit that Pro Bowl this year. So I'm looking forward to it, man. But thank you so much again for your time.
No problem. Hey, anytime, Joe.
Definitely, man. And thank you, everybody that checked in. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace.